It feels impossible to find out if we're actually doing okay saving-wise for our age group. It isn't a topic that comes up a lot in public because a lot of people want to keep their finances close to the chest. Just think of all the times you've heard someone say, "Don't talk about money." But if we don't talk about money, then how do we know how much we should be saving? And why does it even matter? So let's break the taboo and talk about savings by age per decade. So how much should you be saving? That magic number may vary, but experts generally agree that aiming to save 20% of your monthly income is a pretty good target. Of course, it's not always that easy, right? I mean, life happens and there are bills to pay and there's fun to be had. But let's break it down a bit. You've probably heard the old advice of allocating 50% of your income to necessities, 30% to fun stuff, and 20% to savings. Sounds reasonable, right? But let's be honest, it's not always that simple. Are you living above your means or struggling to make ends meet? Your situation is unique, so adjust those numbers to fit your reality. Now, here's the thing. The average UK household only manages to save around about 8.7% of their income. So, if you're not hitting that 20% target, don't beat yourself up. Saving something is better than saving nothing. So, how do your savings stack up against others in your age group? The truth is, as we get older, we tend to save more. Younger generations have lower salaries, more debt, and in my 20s, I was a bit reckless with my income. At age 20, you're likely to still be in university and may have student loan debt. In the UK, the average student loan debt for graduates is around 45 grand. I've got to be honest, it really shocked me when I saw that it was that high. You probably know this, but when you graduate, student loan debt's taken from your pay incrementally. So the higher you earn, the more you pay. Ideally, if you can, you should come up with a plan to get it paid off by your 30s. Make overpayments each month and climb out of it as fast as you can. At this point, it would be unfair to say that you should have a certain amount of savings. Working towards getting rid of your debt is your aim. But what if you didn't go to uni? The average savings that up to 29-year-olds have is £3,800. So if you're working in your early 20s, aim for £4,000 because this way you're above the average and that average may climb over time. If you aim to save £400 a year from your 20th birthday, that's a very achievable £34 a month. Now let's round that up to £40 a month, and then you'll have £4,800 by the time you hit 30, which is £1,000 over the average. Another important thing to do is get a credit card and use it wisely to build your credit score. Aim to only ever spend about 30% of your limit and pay it off every month. That way, when you need to get credit for a loan or a mortgage, they already know that you're a great lender with a decent credit rating. By the time we reach 30, it's suggested that we should have saved an amount equal to our annual salary. But the majority of 30-year-olds in the UK fall short of this mark. So experts suggest that in your 30s, you should have the equivalent saved of your annual salary. So for example, if you make 40 grand a year, then you should have 40 grand saved, including retirement accounts, ISAs and investments. In your 30s, you should aim to invest and save 20 to 30% of your income, become debt-free or have a plan for it, and have a stable, sustainable income with opportunities for growth. Now, the tough part here, if I use a direct comparison of my life, is that this can be the decade of your life where you have large events to pay out, like for marriage and kids. So I paid out about £8,000 or something like that as my half towards our wedding, and I had my first little boy just before I was 35. Now, if those two life events hadn't come along, then I might have been quids in, but I wouldn't change it for the world. So I guess I'm saying that if life gets in the way, don't beat yourself up. This is a rough guide for you to follow. Experts suggest that by 40, you should have saved around 3 times your salary for retirement. In your 40s, your goal should be having a target retirement amount, planning for big expenses like your kids' education, and maintaining excellent credit. I'm going to throw some figures out there just to show you an example of how much money your savings could make you by this age. So let's say you're earning 35 grand and you've saved 105,000, like the expert recommendation. If you found a 4% interest savings account, this would make you £420 a year. That's a really nice cushion, isn't it? By age 50, in an ideal world, you should have saved about 5 to 6 times your salary. In your 50s, prioritise paying off your mortgage, diversifying your investments, and having a clear idea of your retirement expenses. Basically, in this decade, you should be setting yourself up for a nice retirement. In an ideal world, we want to finish work and switch off mentally without having to stress about finances and how we're going to pay for things. This is why we have to keep thinking ahead about what's next so that we're ready for that next milestone. At age 60, the median net worth is around 213 grand, and you should have saved roughly about 8 times your income. Your main goals at 60 should be to have your house paid off, have your retirement finances in order, and focus on enjoying your life. I have this dream that at this age I'll have a little holiday home in Spain and I'll divide my time between there and the UK. I really just want to be sat on a little balcony with the sun beating down on my face and a glass of wine. It's not too much to ask, is it? Remember, these guidelines are not set in stone and your personal financial journey may vary. It's never too late to start, so don't worry if you have no savings when you watch this. Let it be the turning point for you. The key is to plan, save and invest strategically throughout your life so that you can enjoy financial security and peace of mind in the future. If you found this video helpful, I'd love it if you could give it a like and subscribe so that I can talk finances again with you in the future. Thank you.